We all seen that video of that girl who washed her hair 15 times.
Spray, you know, just to keep it in place. Well, I didn't have any more got to be glue spray, so I used this. Bad idea. I've washed my hair 15 times and it don't move.
Oh, Nya Jay, where are you going with this? Let me tell you. Dr. Martin Obing, don't know how to pronounce his name, but apparently he been studying chemistry for all these years. On the other hand, this girl has Gorilla Glue stuck in her hair that she can't wash out. Don't really know why you would think to do that. I'm not gonna bash her, you know, that's in the past. The point of this is, God will use people and things in life that you don't quite understand to help you and them both raise up, unless they're your enemies. Then they'll be used as your footstool. Get where I'm going with it. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nya Jay, and if you are new to this channel, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, even though you don't know what I'm about to talk about in this video, but do it anyway, okay? Share it. I need views. On this channel, I do vegan things. I don't really know what I do, y'all. I'm just here trying to figure life out. Like I said earlier, God will use things in weird situations to bless you in life. God works in mysterious ways. A being of mysteriousity. This man probably been studying chemistry all his life trying to find his big break. Imagine if you had goggles, you put it into his perspective, all right? Man, I'm really trying to find my big break. I don't know what to do. Maybe this career isn't working, because we all know that when you follow your passions, it may seem a little lonely, a little bit of a lonely road, because you don't quite understand it yet. You don't quite understand the why, when, how it's gonna work out. You just know that God told you to do it, okay? So he's sitting here struggling in his work and his craft. And then you take the other girl's story, Miss Tessica Brown, okay? We applaud you. I'm sorry you had to go through this, sis, but I'm using you as my example. She woke up one day and decided to put Gorilla Glue in her hair. Mind you, she said it's been in her hair for like how long? Like a month? Weeks have gone by. She tries to take the glue out of her hair. Water doesn't work. Super glue doesn't work. It's like gooba goop, whatever it's called. But even that doesn't work, y'all. Like this girl, like they had to cut her ponytail off because of how stuck it was. She runs into Mr. Martin, okay? And he mixed up some chemicals, found a solution to the problem, and now they both benefited. She doesn't have as much hair as she did, but she can still grow it back out. She don't have to start from zero. Roll the clip.
I'm sorry.
Do you want any stir to subscribe?
Yeah, I'm going to put that story.
Now, mind you, these people have never met a day in their life. I promise you, these two people did not wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to meet her and she's going to meet me. They don't know each other. But God brought them two together, two strangers, for a purpose, okay? Did God use her up as a way for him to come up? Yes, God does that. But was it God's fault that she put the Gorilla Glue in her hair? Come on now. We tend to blame God for the mess ups in our lives. Y'all saying that God works in mysterious ways and this is how God chose to bring him up. Why not turn something negative into a positive? Y'all swear y'all want positivity and love in life, but y'all beg and crave for things to stay negative. God didn't tell her to put that in her head. Who, now, I want you to tell me in your right mind, who would sit there and believe that Gorilla Glue was made for your hair? Explain that to me. On the face of this earth would think that Gorilla Glue goes in your hair. And you know what she said? She said, well, it didn't say not to put it in your hair. Now, what does that sound like? That kind of sounds like manipulation, don't it? That sounds like the manipulation that the enemy uses for you so that you can turn your heart away from God. A quick example. God never said this, but he also kind of never said that either. So that means technically I can do it. No. Stop trying to read in between the lines of things and just go with the flow, yo. And whatever the instructions say, follow it. Don't try to add your own instructions. I mean, it says you can use it on these things. Keep away from your face. Keep away from your body. It don't say hair, though. You signed yourself up to get into trouble because you wanted to be fast and grown and try to figure things out on your own and try to put your own rules there. If it doesn't say it, then don't do it. If the Bible doesn't say it, then don't do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't exist. It don't exist. God will use the weirdest things in the weirdest ways to get you up and higher in the level. And yes, she did have a downfall. Yes, some of her hair did fall off.
Extensions are easy.
Yeah, but not for 6 weeks.
We didn't have to start from 0 at least.
But that was her own fault. But what God did was he spared her. And in the process of sparing her, he brought up another king who's been working his life. You don't know how long he's been working. He's been working his whole life, to have a breakthrough such as this. It's Black History Month and y'all are mad that we have a black king who's rising up because he helped another black woman. Come on, man. I've never seen so many black people mad at 2 black people for helping each other and building each other up in the process. How many times do I speak of that? Black people love to do challenges. I challenge us to stick together. How about that? Let's call it the Stick Together Challenge. Once you establish a Gorilla Glue relationship with God, you won't have to worry about making mistakes like Mrs. Tessica. You won't have to be misled by the what ifs and interpretation of, well, it doesn't say I can't do it. Yeah, but it also doesn't say you should. You won't have to worry about the manipulation of the world getting in your ear and in your head if you formed a good bond with God. That's why I say the religion aspect does not matter. God didn't make a religion, but the only thing God did was create you. Our God was nice enough to create a whole book, okay, of promises and words, right? No, you don't have to follow every single, you don't have to be a saint and a nun. Nuns sin too. Nuns be, you know what they be doing. Nobody said you had to be perfect. Like, just imagine this. Imagine you had a daddy, right? And he said, hey, I don't want you to go out to that party and smoke, and I don't want you to go out and drink. And you did it anyway. Your dad is not going to kill you for that. Your dad is not going to hate you for that. He's like a father. He cares about your well-being. He doesn't want you to be led into temptation. He doesn't want you to get yourself in a position or in the mindset to even think about being led into temptation. But we do that on our own selves. And then when we get led to temptation and we get tempted and then we do the thing that he told us not to do, he gave us the simple instructions on what not to do so that we would not end up in that situation. We get mad and we blame God for it. But that is not God's fault, baby. That's your hard-headed self. With your crazy tail self. Form that relationship with God. Form that bond with God. And you won't have to worry about nothing. You won't have to be forgiven 15 times.
15 times.
You don't have to go through that cycle 15 times. See, some of y'all are hard-headed. Some of us are very hard-headed. God shouldn't have to tell you 15 times to do that thing and you get mad because you're on the 16th time. Don't let it get to the 16th time. I don't know who I'm talking to, but do not let this or whatever you're struggling with, don't let it get to the 16th time. Let 15 times be enough. Let her story be an example for you. It shouldn't take 15 times. You shouldn't did it in the first place. And had she had not tried to fill in the blank of her own, bend the rules a little bit, because we try to do that with God too, and she would not have tried to do that, she would not be in a situation and she would have all her hair instead of half of her hair. But since we have a merciful God and a graceful God, he allowed her to save some of her hair and she wasn't completely bald. But you don't gotta listen to me. What do I know? I'm just Nya Jay. You know the blessing of it? You know the beautiful part of it? Jesus will forgive you. You can mess up
15 times.
and you will be forgiven 16. Because that's how merciful of a God we have. Y'all are confusing God with Satan and y'all are so deceived that y'all don't see the difference. God is not saying he's gonna kill us all if you don't follow my rules. No, that's Satan, baby. That's Satan. Video coming soon with manipulation of Satan. How many people do you know in your life that has manipulated you, that actually cared about you? How many narcissists and sociopaths have you ran into in your life that actually cared about you? How many deceivers have you ran into in your path, in your life, that actually cared about you? The devil don't care about you, baby. And the only thing he wants to do is separate you and God, you and Jesus, you and Source. I don't care what you call God. You can call God anything, he, she, they, them, but you gonna believe in Jesus, baby, okay? It's not a coincidence that every single religion has the story of Jesus in it. Let's go back over that and regroup ourselves. Miss Tessica Brown, poor baby, put Gorilla Glue in her hair because she thought it was gonna be a better alternative than gel. She filled in the blanks because now she thought she was smarter than the instructor in the instructions on the back of the bottle of the Gorilla Glue. And since it didn't say it, that meant technically she could do it. Then she did it and then got the glue stuck in her hair, washed her hair 15 times, had to go to the hospital because she could not get the glue out. There was nothing that could get the glue out, right? Had to get her ponytail cut off. Had to go into surgery until this black man, this black king, came to the rescue and saved her. That is an example of, one, don't try to fill in the blanks in the word. If the word says it, then that's all you need to know. God didn't send you down here to understand and interpret nothing. He ain't send you down here to fill in the blanks to nothing. He gave it to you plain as day. See, we literally have the instructions sitting right here in our face, and you make it complicated. Why are you complicating things? For what? Number 2, God will use stupidity, your own stupidity, and still will use your own hard-headedness and still turn it into a way for you to learn something from it, and still save you 2 inches of hair so that you won't be bald. Follow what I'm saying? He'll still pull you out of the situation that you got yourself into. You could have completely bypassed if you had to just listen and not try to be a hard ass. He still shows mercy to you. And 3, God will use your enemies as your footstool. So if you have anybody in your life who is rude to you, mean to you, and or in the middle of you, you don't really. Jesus said, you either against me or you're for me. There is no in between, baby, okay? Jesus was a gangster. You either with me or you against me. Your enemies, he's gonna use those people as your footstool in due time. In due time. How long she had that ponytail in her hair? Somebody comment that down below. Months, like a month, right? Weeks. You know how different your life may be from today in a month from now. Your life may be in a completely different stage, just like that man's life. Just like Dr. Michael Obing. Your life could be completely different. It can either be different because you're following, now follow me. Your life can either be different because you're following the path God put you on, like Mr. Michael, and following that path leads you to success so that you can use somebody else's failure as your success, right? Follow me. Or your life could change because you're being hard-headed and you went off the path of what God and Jesus told you to do, and now your life is hard, but you'll still be spared. Now, do you want to be spared or do you want to be abundant? Do you want to be saved or do you want to be blessed? You want to be barely hanging on, 2 inches of hair? Come on. Or do you want your cup to overflow? All you got to do is listen. And how do you listen? How do you get the ear and be sensitive to God? By forming a gorilla glue relationship with him. Oh, I'm done. Educate so that we don't generate more lost generations. Love and light, y'all. And don't let it take 15 more times. Peace.